Well, we're back again with Peter Newing for this. James has just done one with me, and I'm still sat in the same gear. I haven't changed. It's not a new day, and we're into another podcast, so we get ahead of ourselves. Welcome back, Peter. How
Hi,
does it feel to be back here instead of behind the controls when James was doing it?
it's a comparable set of nerves.
Get away.
You either
I
do
cannot believe that you are nervous doing this.
you're either doing the controls or you're thinking of being
Okay, well, or doubling up, as has been the case quite a
yeah.
lot lately. Yeah, okay. Well, welcome back, and we're in the middle of sort of doing red letter words, the
Okay.
words that Jesus spoke.
Yes.
And I thought I'd bring up another one this time. So it says in the Gospels, as far as I can remember, on more than one occasion, something that's also in the blurb of some of the services in different churches, and it says there are two main things you need to remember if you can't remember the Ten Commandments and the
Okay.
words of Jesus, which are love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind and all your strength, and
Yes.
love your neighbour as yourself.
Okay.
So let's not do love God at the moment. Let's
No.
not do love neighbour. Let's do how is Peter at loving himself?
Well, obviously I have a skincare routine. No. I love myself. I think I'm okay, so I think I'm liking myself. I wouldn't say I've got a love of myself.
Do you vary how you feel about how you're doing with things? Do you tend to analyze you?
No, not so much. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, about loving myself. Um, I, but come to think of it, I think I'm great, honestly.
So how do you do then if you think you're great? This is me being provocative now
Yes.
for a moment. How do you do if the words, the red letter words, the words that Jesus said, say love your neighbour as yourself.
Yeah.
If you're okay with you, how are you with your neighbour?
I think I care more about my neighbour, to be honest with you.
Do you think you should?
Um, yes, because I know there's red letter stuff, but for me, I've heard that there's no difference between being miserable and just thinking about yourself. So,
I've not heard that.
and when you have, I've heard that if you have anxiety, say at a party, the best remedy to feel better is to focus on other people and ask how they're doing. So, since hearing that, I like to focus on other people and loving other people.
Do you find that you feel better about yourself by the very fact that you're doing that?
Well, I don't tend to think about myself very much, whether that's to my
But
detriment.
are you fulfilled or satisfied by doing it?
I'm satisfied, yes,
So when
but
we're down the pub on a Wednesday night, as we will be tonight,
yes,
how does that work out?
2 pints of Pepsi. That's you can't really go wrong.
James is going to look at this as he's filming in the background and thinking, oh, we didn't do it that way,
Yeah,
but that's fine.
that quote from Jesus, you sort of get the picture that you have to love yourself in order to love other people. And I don't think that's...
Is it the other way around? Or is it not even that?
I think they help each other. Loving yourself helps you put you in a good frame of mind to love other people. But I don't think they have to go together. I think there are some people that only do one of them. But I think that's a less healthy way to be. I think doing both is healthy.
What do you think any of this says into the idea that there's quite a lot of people, and I think at times I've put myself in this category. I don't often think I'm very important. I quite often think I'm not very good. So there's a self-worth issue.
Okay.
And I think I'm just below the level, even level here. I wouldn't say I'm dreadful and think I'm useless,
Right.
but I think there's quite a lot of people in our society who, for all sorts of reasons, maybe culture, maybe background, maybe other things, don't feel very good about themselves, that there's a self-image issue. So you flippantly said at the start to the thing, well, something about your skin care, but there might be people who actually do look to do
Yeah.
things to enable them to feel better or appear
I
better.
tell you something I do. I brush my teeth in front of a mirror because I want to have clean teeth. So that's an example of self-care.
And image.
Because I joke with my brother that, personal care is quite hard. Because some people think, well, this is a tangent, but I'm just saying that some people think that work is hard. But actually, if you don't have work, you still got to look after yourself. It's sort of a core element of being human.
Okay.
So I like to look after myself.
Yeah. What about the issue of self-worth for people? Huh? I mean, you're obviously pretty comfortable in your skin at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
getting
okay.
that impression.
I do have problems with my self-worth because
Go on.
I find it hard not to have being a student full time or having a job full time.
Okay.
And then because I admire people's confidence in saying I do this, this, and this, and that
Can't that be overplayed though?
It can be, but it is nice it's nice validation for someone to look at your situation and think they're being a useful member of society. And if you're a doctor, you can say I'm a doctor, and then that ends the conversation. But I always feel a bit awkward. This is, one of my flaws, but I always feel a bit awkward saying, well, I'll say I'm unemployed because I feel a lack of worth because I'm not earning money from my profession.
I mean, I can understand that totally because I struggle with things like, for example, on Pointless on the TV. If you've ever watched it, I don't know. One of the things they first off say is, "Well, what do you do?" or
Yeah,
what's
what
your
do you
job?
do? That's the question.
But surely that's not a. I don't remember Jesus particularly asking that question.
I know.
Because it automatically means you've got to respond in a way that you might feel you struggle with or whatever.
Yeah. I heard from a very wise person at the pub that you shouldn't ask, what do you do? You should ask, what do you enjoy doing? And that was James.
Interesting.
James is
Was it? In the background here.
the guy behind the camera.
Being cryptic. Yeah.
So, because you
and
can...
powerful, yeah.
Yeah, you can have self-worth even if you're
So,
not working.
so given you've both said, I'm not sure if I agree with everything there about having to be a red letter person and then you've almost qualified it by saying, I love myself because I think that helps me to love others.
Well, I think it's just a circumstantial thing. I do love myself in some ways, but I don't think you necessarily get to loving others through yourself. I think they're independent because there are people who are somewhat miserable who love their family.
Who give away a lot in terms of care for other
people.
But
I think encouraging loving yourself is helpful, but I don't think it's necessary to love other people.
Given that I'm somebody who believes and has faith and feels that they know at least are in a relationship with God, it feels that God is saying to me, I want you to be okay with yourself. I want you to love yourself as you love your neighbour.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, I mean, I can think of people that I've come across in all sorts of situations over many years where they are okay wanting to either look after or pray for even other people who are ill.
Yeah.
But they don't think it's okay to pray for themselves or to have somebody else ask, are you all right there? Can I help?
I think I fall into that category because I am not a very diligent prayer master. I don't know what the term is.
Well, even if you leave out what I said there about praying for it, even if you just took the actions.
But I've been praying very short prayers every night before bed, and I almost always only pray for other people, which is what you're saying.
I am.
But
have you ever prayed for yourself?
Yeah, I actually pray for myself as well. This is my line. I say, I pray I have a good night's sleep tonight and a brilliant day tomorrow. And then that's like the start of my prayer, because I'm going to bed, so I want to have a good
So you
night's
put
sleep.
yourself ahead of the rest.
Well, because
Yeah.
you can't mess it around too much. Otherwise
It's just
God...
really interesting. So, me going back to a couple of sessions ago,
Okay.
where this person in front of me said, well, I am somebody who thinks the Bible's just about the most important thing I should have and chuck out everything else. And I am somebody who has, kind of a bit of a faith, but I'm not sure if I really believe this stuff, or that there's a new heaven and a new earth and another life afterwards, who then says they pray.
Well, yeah.
So there's a. I mean, I can understand, because before I came to any level of faith at all, I'm going off at a tangent here.
Yeah.
But I can remember losing a girlfriend when I was young,
Yeah.
and crying out to God and say, why the heck, in other words, I was praying to God. Why the heck did you do that? Why am I in these circumstances? It was almost like a rant.
Yeah.
And so I think people do, and evidence suggests that 75% of people, whether they have a faith or not, pray. So there's a kind of bizarre thing about that. And you're saying, I pray for myself before I go to bed.
Yeah,
So
but
in a way, that's quite...
not really, though. If you've got a line, because you know how prayer works, you say certain things that are almost repetitive, and then you have like an open dialogue with God. I don't have myself in the open dialogue, so the bit that I'm paying my attention towards is not about myself. Because the praying for good night's sleep and brilliant day tomorrow is basically as habitual as saying in Jesus' name, Amen. And my focus is on the middle part.
So how would you feel about, I mean, I don't know if you ever do it. I mean, this is about the theme of loving yourself. I'm not really going off the point. What about if you were thinking, you've got to, you often put together a computer game, say, or write a book, or have a new project, drones, or whatever it might be.
Yes.
Do you pray for that?
No.
Any reason why not? It's part of your life.
Do you know what I did pray for? I prayed that I'd finish my degree, but that was like a couple of years ago.
Okay. So when you think about the day ahead, do you ever pray for what might happen on the day ahead? Because you've already got an idea what you're doing.
No.
Okay. I think if we're going to do that for other people, because somebody might say to me, could you pray for this? Because I've got a X, Y, and Z happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
So why not for Peter Newing?
Because it's not what I care about as much as other people.
But God might, because he says, I'm just being
Yeah.
a little bit devil's advocate, love your neighbour as yourself, not less than the neighbour.
Well, I think it's hard to put teachings into your own sort of personality, and because you're ingrained in what you're used to.
Yeah, I understand that.
So it's difficult to read something, even if you do believe it, to then put it into practice. What I'm saying, where people focus on other people more than yourself, that's almost what ignited the whole conversation, in terms of people don't love themselves.
Okay.
And I think bringing up this topic of conversation is almost saying you should love yourself so that you can love other people, maybe.
Okay, so what about the opposite end of it, just from an opinion point of view, not focusing on Peter Newing here?
Yes.
Just as we kind of wrap this up for today, what about those who maybe think too much of themselves? I mean, how do we approach that in a society that maybe they're as much of a problem as those who don't have enough worth? We want to encourage and bring those people who don't have as much self-worth as they probably should have up to a level where they believe in themselves so they can be more productive. But what about those who maybe think so much of themselves that they're a menace to society? Got any thoughts on that? And whether there's any way of helping that situation?
I think they're both unhealthy, so not thinking too much of yourself is bad. But there's a difference between loving and caring for yourself and actually being sort of self-indulgent and only thinking about your own
scenario, which is almost loving yourself too much, isn't it?
Well, it's not love. That's the thing.
Okay, that's a good statement. Actually,
could be. I don't know what the word is. Is there a word narcissism? I don't know.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
That sort of thing. So somebody thinking about themselves and being self-centered and being selfish isn't the same as caring for yourself, loving for yourself, looking after yourself. I think there's a positive way to view self-worth.
Well, let's leave it there. But I mean, I think the idea today was to try and say, well, look, if we can encourage people to think about how they love other people, but in a context of what they're like at loving themselves, it might help them. Anything else you want to say before we finish?
Just before we finish, do you love yourself?
It's just a bit out of order that to ask me the same thing. Well, I did. Well, I did say I think a little bit. If anything, I'm below the line. My self-worth could do with being better at times.
Yeah.
But there are times when I push it. I mean, I think I go a little bit like that, because there are times when I think, oh yeah, I should be doing this, and I've definitely got it nailed. I'm almost too good.
Yeah.
And then there are times when I think much less of, I'm not really good at this. I shouldn't be doing this, and don't kind of give myself a chance to be just normal and me.
Yeah.
And I mean, where I don't think I'm good at something, I can often put it down too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, do I love myself? I probably could. If anything, it sways on. I probably need to love myself more.
Yeah.
In order that perhaps I'm better equipped to know how to love other people.
I think one thing about what Jesus is saying, he fits so much wisdom into a sentence, because we're thinking different scenarios of how to get towards loving yourself or loving the other person, and that stemmed just from one line.
Yeah.
Which is quite something.
So we're in danger of overthinking, which was the topic we were having a chat about.
Yeah.
Okay, we will leave it at that for that talk, and we'll come back with a new one next time. See you, folks.
See you. Thank you.